Um, hmm. Why can I not pick my pets, Blizzard? What's going on with that? I didn't pick a pet. Whatever. This pet's fine to start with versus this guy. I have a pretty good matchup versus him, but this isn't the guy I wanted to play. No, not that I wanted to fight the other guy, but I wanted to snipe him with this team. What is going on? Okay. I think I'll probably go for Wild Winds. This guy is unlikely to swap, although it would have been smart for him to. I think what I'll do is Wild Winds again. Because he's probably going to go for Toxic Fumes, first Global, and then Poison Protocol. And I can, I think, actually just kill him here. That was a really good opener. Wow. I took one Toxic Fumes, and this team farms Anomalous. It's supposed to counter like a Darkness Blossoming Ancient player, but it should probably lose if he turned on his brain. Okay, so he has Liftoff. That's strong versus my Pale Shell Crab. This guy's a big problem, actually, for my team. He has Darkness, surely. SS. Yeah, I'm just actually going to stay in. I'd rather eat this Darkness on my Primal Stormling than either of these two pets, because they are more useful. So I'll just sacrifice the Stormling for a free swap. And then, okay. So he has Liftoff, surely. I can either decoy or block it. SS, I don't know. I think I'll bring in the MPD. We'll go for a decoy. Then I'm going to press Thunderbolt. It didn't miss, so that's good. Bring the Pale Shell Crab. I know he has Liftoff, and I do weak damage with Sandstorm, but he'll probably go for Liftoff here, and I can bubble it. Which is a whole lot less damage than eating it with my MPD. Then let's go for Pinch, because I don't want to mitigate my damage with Sandstorm. Okay, so thinking I probably want to hit him one more time and then go for Sandstorm. Maybe I just go for pinches, actually. If I land both of these, well, I land that one for sure. Does the next one kill him? Let's see, it's 288 plus 72. I think that's 360, right? This should kill him. It only takes 3 pinches to stack up to max damage. Cool. That's good. Alright, so he either swaps me and I'm on my MPD with Decoy, or he takes a Sandstorm to the face. Let's see what it is. Alright, Sandstorm to the face it is. I'm down with that. I'm not playing mind games versus this guy. We're just going to stay in, 1v1 him. Once my Pale Shell Crab is dead, then he can't swap me, and once I'm swapped, he can't swap me, so I'm happy either way. Yeah, get out of here. Alright, annoying team. He has the incorrect breed of the flyer, and I just had 2 Sandstorms, so that Sandstorm, double Sandstorm is like the best counter for that guy, so I got lucky that I queued into him, but the player that I'm trying to snipe is this player. I hate fighting him, but I would rather farm him than allow him to farm the rest of my bracket and make everybody else quit, so I want to play this team versus him. I'm just going to queue it up again, actually, because I suspect I'll get him. I don't think anybody else is queuing. I'm actually surprised I got that guy. So I'll just play this team because it's the best team that I have versus this team. I could maybe just swap the MPD for like a living sandling, but then I have 2 elementals. I don't know how much I like that. Maybe I should just play the living sandling here instead of the primal stormling. It's probably stronger. And give me strong damage versus the dragon. Let me look up teams with the living sandling. Normally he's a pet. I try not to play too much, but as you can see, nobody's playing fun teams right now. I've gotten, like, other than these 2 mechanical teams, I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I had another game that I was going to beat this guy, and I DC'd in the middle of it. It was tragic. So I've gotten 10, like, just obnoxious S-tier teams in a row out of 12 games. So I don't feel bad playing strong teams if all I'm fighting is strong teams. Okay, how about this team? Would this team have a fighting chance versus Blossoming Ancient? The Murgleton's a big problem. I think if he doesn't stun me, I can beat him. Do I just send this team, maybe? See how it goes? I keep trying to play, like, fun teams, or sort of fun teams, like strong fun teams, but not like, you know, the best of the best. And I keep getting shit on by a badly played Blossoming Ancient. Okay, how do I feel about this team? I got the Jingles. Well, Jingles is actually pretty good versus... I'm liking this team actually a little bit. Well, so he's going to eat the weak damage with the Booby Trap Presence. Maybe I just forego Booby Trap Presence and... Let's play this team. I think this team should do well versus either of these 2 players if I get them. And it's something different. I don't typically like to spam the same team unless I'm specifically trying to force someone to stop playing something that's pissing me off and making my whole bracket quit. Also, it's just usually a bad idea to queue the same team over and over again because even if it's a really good team, you're going to run into someone like me who knows how to counter it, and I'll just, you know, play counter team. I get bored of playing counter teams all day to, like, this sort of team, but I can just farm him with this team. Like, I'll probably win like 95% of my games at least with this team if I'm fighting him, especially because he plays so bad. Like, I fought him. Yeah, it was the game that I DC'd, so the game right after this game. I fought him, and you can't see the record because it doesn't... That's probably why I couldn't select my pet at the start, was because of I disconnected. I'm thinking that's why my add-on bugged. But hopefully it'll be fixed now. Maybe I should slash reload just in case. But yeah, basically I started with the MPD. He starts with this shitty Murgleton like a bot, because he always does, going for that stun to have the upper hand if he lands the 25% stun. He doesn't get the stun. He doesn't get any crits, but I miss him with decoy. Sorry, I miss him with my attack. I was still pretty far ahead. But I did miss the very first attack under darkness. He wasn't dumb enough to go for darkness under... like, while I had decoy out. So he isn't a total bot, but like so I used decoy first round. With this team. I used decoy first round versus shitty Murgleton. And he has a Blossoming Ancient on the back line. Obviously with Sunlight. And I have 3 pets alive. You would think, oh, he'll just bring in his elemental that does strong damage to my mechanical and press Sunlight and break my decoy instantly. And you'd be wrong. Nope. He just stays in on his magic pet that takes strong damage from my basic attacks. So if he, like, played correctly or even remotely correctly, his team should probably still beat mine. But because he plays so badly, I don't really have to adapt and come up with new counter teams. I can just play this team and beat him as long as I don't miss too much. But I think this team could also do fairly okay. It's just going to have a harder time beating him if he plays well, because I only have one weather changer instead of two. A lot of the time, he plays with either an enchanted broom or the dread hatchling, I think, is the darkness flyer he likes to use. So the living sandling is really good versus the dread hatchling. It's actually good versus both of them because he takes weak damage since he runs batter. Do I have any other living sandling teams that I think could give him trouble? Living sandling. This team is really strong. It's just 3 S tier pets. So the way I would probably play it is I want to 1v1 Twilight with my living sandling because Anomalous is not a good cleanup pet. And the Bone Serpent is slower by 1 point. So I would probably start with Anomalous. As long as I don't get slowed, I think I would go for Poison Protocol on round 1 because I don't do extra damage to an elemental. I don't get an extra round of Poison Protocol versus elementals if I have Toxic Fumes out, so there's no point in using that. And then I would probably take the Call Darkness and trade for Toxic Fumes on round 2. And then I would trade Anomalous for his elemental. If he low rolls, I get a corrosion on him. If he high rolls, I'm dead. But at least I'm not taking that attack on one of my other pets. And then I'm stuck with the Living Sandling Bone Serpent versus Blossoming Ancient Twilight. So I would bring in the Bone Serpent, kill him with Bone Barrage. He'd bring in his Living Sandling. And because I know how he plays, he likes to go for Photosynthesis first and then Sunlight. So what I'd probably do... I think I'd use Liftoff. And then Darkness as soon as he uses Sunlight. And then Bone Barrage. And then probably just, since he plays like a bot and stays in on his Blossoming Ancient, I'd bring in the Living Sandling. But if he plays correctly, I think he could still beat this team with his team. I might try this versus him, though. It's only 3-0, because I only play these like tier 1 teams whenever I'm facing like really good pets. I mean, I used to play them all the time because I didn't care. I wasn't recording. But now that I'm making videos, it's boring to watch me play this team over and over and over again. And it does kind of turn my bracket into a dumpster fire very quickly. This is the same team. I don't know how I feel about the Shore Butterfly. I fought him with Barlonor's team, which is Karashi Guardling, Autumnal Sproutling, and the Shore Butterfly. And I won, but barely. Like, RNG could have easily given him the win. Because the Shore Butterfly is really only OP because of his flying racial, and once that's gone, if he's slower, he's not that effective. Especially versus this guy. Almost Direhorn Bone Serpent. Well, Triple Sandstorm would probably beat him. Maybe I would play... Yeah, I could see this team doing really well versus him. because I don't have to clean up with my living sandling. I can clean up with a Karaji Cardling. Sure, Butterfly's a bad option because he's going to be slower than Twilight once he loses his racial. Maybe I should make more living sandling teams. I have this team in tryout teams because I'm not sure if it's a fun team or a tier 1. I feel like it could be a tier 1 team, but I want to test it out, see how it does before I just throw it in there with the rest of the teams that I'm basically never going to play again unless I'm fighting spam top of the line teams. Nah, I'm going to go ahead and put it where it belongs. It's a good team. It's a damn good team. If I fought this team, I would have trouble beating it consistently. It has a lot of, like, this is a good example of, like, what I'm thinking of when I'm having a hard time coming up with a team that I feel is well-rounded enough, because I have decoy, so you need a decoy breaker to fight the MPD. I have Sandstorm, which is the most broken weather ability. It's the strongest ability in the game. I'm only playing it right now because all I'm fighting is Darkness, which is the second. I'm fighting not just Darkness, but I'm fighting Darkness and Sunlight, so I need, like, a weather changer, or else I can't win. It's impossible. As badly as he plays, I still can't win. He just does too much damage for me to keep up with anything else besides my own weathers. And he has 3 weathers, I have 1, so I'd say that's more than fair. Jingles is a very dangerous pet. If he decided to start swapping, that minefield would give him a hard time. And even if he's not, like, intentionally swapping, the fact that he has to eat it on somebody is very scary. Because, like, what I can do here is I'll probably fight him with my MPD. One v one him, and then just burn him down with breaths as fast as possible. I want to go for decoy, but what I think is probably best. Is spamming breath in case he's smart and decides to swap into his sunlight pet. At which point I'll bring in. Probably bring in my living sandling and sandstorm as fast as possible after he uses sunlight. And then I can throw down a minefield for his beast. All right, well, we'll see it. We'll see it play out. So, I could start with Jingles. I'll start with the MPD though. I take weak damage from Soul Rush, and I deal strong damage to him. So, let's see if he learns how to, like, break decoy. Oh, he got the stun. Okay, well, since he got the stun, we'll bring in Jingles. That's fine. Let's go for pounces. Oh, I missed. Okay, so he stunned me and I missed. It's a really bad start. Let's bring in the MPD. If he learns how to, like, play the game correctly, he just wins. I mean, that miss was pretty inconsequential. IMO. Let's go for decoy. If he's smart, he can just break it with sunlight, but as I said before, he doesn't know how to do that. Just embarrassing. Like, imagine being this guy. I don't know how he dresses himself. I don't know how he feeds himself every day. I have no words if he manages to to lose this game after landing a stun and me missing my very first attack. I could go for Thunderbolt. He does go for... Nah, let's bring in the Living Sandling. He should just go for that Sunlight right away. If he doesn't press it, sometimes he'll like be weird and not press Sunlight. But I was going to say if he doesn't, then I can actually outdamage his healing with because I'm running Punch. Okay, so that does 222. That is enough damage to kill Jingles. I have to be very careful. I want to get a minefield out, but he got a high roll on my Jingles, and I missed. Ugh. I mean, it's the stun that really set me behind a lot. I'll definitely stay in for now, but what I might be able to do is swap to the MPD, throw down a decoy, and then that could allow me to throw down a minefield safely. I think my best bet, though, is probably try to predict when does he go for the refresh on his photosynthesis, and then try to... Maybe I just forego the minefield. Because right now, do I think he's going to go for photosynthesis, or do I think he's going to... I feel like he's just going to go for damage. Ah, he went for the heal. I could have gotten the minefield out. It's fine. Do I have enough damage to kill him? Ah, barely. I barely don't. So yeah, Jingles... Oh, Jingles is alive. Okay. I lost my mechanical racial, though. Okay, so Darkness doesn't quite kill me. If I was him, I go for the Surge of Light YOLO. 100%. He let me change his weather. I think it's GG. I don't know how he managed to lose. Oh, crit. Nice. Love that. Let's bring the MPD. We didn't end up needing the minefield, but it would have been nice. But the thing is, going for the minefield was very risky on so many levels. Because not only can it miss when I apply it, it could miss when it goes off because Sandstorm's out. So it has two chances to miss, basically, right? Plus, if he just went for an attack, I died to the Iron Bark there because I'm so low HP already. Man, this guy really thinks he's going to 1v2 here. I guess there is always a chance I miss 4 times in a row. Let's see. Oh, nope. Not lucky enough. So yeah, we won, but he got the stun, so it was way closer than it should have been, and he should have still easily won if he just, like, literally turned on his brain and just pressed sunlight into my decoy. Then he wins for free. But yeah, guys, just unmakeupable levels of awful at this game. Did I play this team? I feel like it's not as good versus him, but I do like the Living Sandling versus him. Do we try it? I do have 3 weathers. The name is Limit Testing. Let's test the limit. If ever there was a team that I wanted to limit test versus, it's this team. Although, it's not really a very fair representation because of how awful his gameplay is. I guess we'll sit in queue for the next 10 minutes until he decides to stop dodging. So, see y'all then. Just remembered I have my Kier Tunneler back from my old account. I feel like he could be really good here. So this guy does run Pounce, but I can't be stunned, which is really nice. I'm not sure if it's worth taking the extra damage from Pounce, but I also can't be stunned by this guy, which is really nice. So I can consistently probably 1v1 him with my Kier Tunneler. I want to hold this Q so that I can get him whenever he decides to stop dodging. I don't want him to Q into anybody else. But I'm thinking a Kier Tunneler with the Living Sandling, and I'm trying to think of a good third pet that would do really well versus him. Maybe I just play the MPD, because like what it's gonna, especially with how he plays, it'll come down to a Kier Tunneler versus shitty Murgleton. Pretty much Living Sandling versus the Blossoming Ancient, since he doesn't know how to press photosynthesis and swap. And then I just want somebody who's good versus Twilight, which there actually aren't that many Sandstorm pets that are really good versus Twilight. I say the Pale Shell Crab is probably the best, just because he has Bubble, and especially if he's running Twilight Fire, that gives Twilight a huge problem. Right now I'm thinking Pale Shell Crab is my best option. I mean, Pale Shell Crab does do really well versus him on this team. I think that's what I'll do. I'm gonna real quickly just swap this team up real quick. And then save it as something clever. This is definitely a tier 1 team. Queue it up and slash reload. If you've been around for a while, you know the reference. I really hope he comes back to make more videos. I loved watching his videos. But yeah, I don't blame him for quitting. It's a state of, I mean, this is this is why everybody quit PvP pet battles, is, you know. And you can't even really blame them. You can't, like, yeah, it's a dick move for you to be playing a team like this and spamming it all night long. But at the end of the day, like, you're trying to win. These pets win a lot. You can't really blame people for playing strong pets that win them games. It's not their fault that, you know, Darkness does 50% more damage than it should do if the game is balanced correctly. You could argue it doesn't even need to do more damage than a basic attack. It already has a strong enough passive ability, which is 50% reduction to healing, in addition to just randomly winning you games because the enemy misses. Darkness would still be very prevalent if they reduced its damage by like 70% and made it hit as hard as like a regular punch attack or a jab, right? People would still spam it because it gets them wins when they don't miss and their opponent does. In addition to like hard countering like healing pets. There's really no reason why weather abilities need to be doing more damage than a basic attack. In my opinion, like the point of playing the weather should be the effect of the weather, not, oh, I do 3 times as much damage as your basic attack. Or even if like I'm fighting a beast and I have darkness, I still do like 50% more damage than a regular basic attack by just pressing darkness on cooldown. So there's really just no reason not to just play 3 pets with darkness when it's overtuned as badly as it is. So like, yeah, I fucking hate this guy for spam queuing this shit. It's really cringe. But I mean, he's not the one that balanced the game the way that it is. Uh, he's just trying to win. Um, the shitty part is the fact that he spam queues. Like, yeah, I'll play strong pets, but I'll usually only play them like as long as I'm fighting other really really strong teams. Otherwise, I try to play fun pets to make it fun for my bracket and good content. Also, if I have a really strong team, I'll almost never spam it. Like that's what's really tilting, is seeing the same team over and over and over and over again. And then on top of that, this guy likes to either queue dodge like he is right now. He just sits for 10 minutes hoping that I'll queue into anybody else so that he can snipe like a noob and stomp on them with a triple darkness team, get a free win. Or what he'll do a lot is if he knows that all he's going to get is me, he'll either queue up and then like purposely leave the queue the second that the queue pops, or what's easier is he'll just get on a yak and then he'll click right here where the accept queue is. He's just spam clicking so that as soon as he gets me, it drops his queue because he's on a yak and he's not able to pet battle while he's on a transport. But if he times it right, it'll bug my queue and until I log out, I cannot get a queue. It'll just have me in a fake queue, and then even if I leave queue and rejoin the queue, it'll just give me some error message saying, "Oh, you're already in a pet battle queue. Why are you trying to queue?" Or "You're already in a pet battle," because it breaks the game. He's exploiting a bug um, to break my queue. So that's the real reason why I just hate him the most, is he's exploiting that bug to break the game. And if it doesn't work on me, he'll probably get some newer pet battler that isn't aware of the bug and is then going to be locked out of the game for the rest of the day until they log out and back in. Because they're not going to know to log out. They're just going to think, man, this game is dead. I'm not getting a queue and it's been an hour and a half. What's going on? Is nobody pet battling anymore? And yeah, the game's a little bit dead, but it's not that dead. He's just broken their queue, and unfortunately he got them instead of me. Since he's not adapting, maybe I just play these two and then a third pet that pulls them together better. Like I'm thinking like a second elemental with some sort of AoE heal. Or even if it's not an elemental, maybe I just play like, I could see Petal being really effective here. It's basically the same team as this team, except I think the Akir Tunnelers may be uh, a tad stronger than the Renishu Runt. Who hits harder? They both hit almost exact. They have almost Oh wait, what the? I'm so dumb. I had Burrow. That would have been awkward. We slash reload so the team saves with Sandstorm, not Burrow. I can't believe I was just actually about to queue with Burrow instead of Sandstorm. That would have been terrible. I could have maybe still won versus that guy because he plays so badly, but yeah, having Sandstorm's going to be a lot better. If I get an actual fun team, I'll just let them have the win. I'll forfeit instantly. Because I would like to play against fun teams. Don't want to just terrorize the rest of my bracket out of queuing tonight. I think I already made this poor guy quit. But I wasn't playing like super tier teams when I fought him. Like I just had Squirky both times, and he played really badly, and Squirky just 1v3'd pretty much. Okay, I'm thinking versus this guy, I might be able to make a team with the Jade Mist Dancer that could do okay versus him, because Jade Mist Dancer is great versus the Blossoming Agent. It's just that he's obviously not great versus magic pets like Shady Murgleton. Did I fight him with this team? I think I played this team. No? No, I was thinking about playing it and I changed my mind. Yeah, so this team would not work. Actually, it might. It would be awkward. Okay, I have an idea. Let's look at the Shore Butterfly again. This time not for Sandstorm, for Wind Buffet. Ah, it brings the lowest health pet. I am fairly certain Twilight is lower HP than the Blossoming Agent. Because what I would like to do, since this guy's so dumb, if I could swap him into the Blossoming Agent, I bet I could easily just Cyclone and Rain Dance and just AoE back, AoE his real dangerous pets. Like the Blossoming Ancient is impossible to beat if you don't have a counter team, but he's not actually that dangerous. Of course, if you have a counter pet like the Jade Mist Dancer, you'll win for free even if he isn't stupid like this guy. But it's gonna bring in Twilight, and then I have to deal with Darkness. AoE is good versus Darkness, but Cyclone is well, it's already below 10%, 100% accuracy, so when you take it down to 75% with Darkness, it's not very effective unless I get really lucky. Okay, let's see here. Cyclone. There's another pet, Cyclone, that has... you have to pick between Cyclone and... You have to pick between Cyclone and Wind Buffet. Yeah, same with the Mischievous Zephyr. Alright, is he done dodging? Oh, wait, we could run Stormwrath. He has the swap and the Cyclone. I need to level him. Is he the only... Oh, no, I have a level 25. Okay. Well, yeah, big surprise, this guy. Well, exactly who I was hoping to fight, actually, with this team. So let's do this. He should still win if he turns on his brain. But I don't think he will. Is it worth going for Shell Shield? I think probably not. He does so much damage. Yeah. It's going to be better for me to just go for big damage and try to burn him down quickly. Oh my gosh, he's actually annihilating me. Definitely a good thing I didn't go for that Shell Shield. I didn't go as well as I thought it would. At least I didn't get stunned, I guess. Well, probably... I think I'll just bring in the Living Sandling. I could take weak damage with Shadow Shock, but I don't want to mess around with maybe missing my Sandstorm, because that would put me behind so much. It's the safer option for me to just go for Quicksand, since I know he's going to be a robot, and just sit there and take it on his magical rather than saving him to clean up later. Ooh, Wow, he adapted and brought in Twilight. That makes my life a little more challenging. Well, do I go for Sandstorm? This is actually pretty tricky. He could go for Surge of Light. I'm gonna go for Sandstorm. If he goes for Darkness, that's okay. It's not great, but yeah, is what it is. I could go for an attack, but it's weak damage. I don't think it's worth giving him his Beast Racial just to do weak damage to him. So let's eat the stun with my Pale Shell Crab. Go ahead and pass. That's nice for me that he missed there. Would have preferred the Surge of Light, but he's okay. I think I'll save my bubble for now and go for a pinch. Because a little bit more damage, and now my Sandstorm should kill him. Uh oh, all these misses are stressing me out. What if I miss? That'd be a sad boy. I don't want to be sad. Alright, these two should be able to take out the Blossoming Ancient. That kind of threw my strategy through a loop that he didn't bring in the Blossoming Ancient like a robot. That's what he's been doing the last, like, 15 games in a row. Alright. So, I have to swap. As soon as he goes for Sunlight, I have to change it. But, yeah, I'll be able to slow him and then go first and hit him with Sandstorm. And then his healing is reduced by more than 50%, because not only does Sunlight buff it by 100%, but it also buffs it by 25. So it's literally doing 125% more healing. Do I swap? Nah, let's stay in. I do big damage. That wasn't very impressive, actually. Oh well, it was more damage than I would have done if I swapped. I believe in my Pale Shell Crab. He should be able to 1v3 here, no prob. This team didn't do as well, I feel like, as my other team. I thought the Akir Tunneler would be more effective, but I just underestimated just how much insane damage this guy does. It's actually just better to have the MPD, especially with how he plays. Alright, really no reason to go for Bubble. I'm not worried about him killing me. I need to kill him. Not let him heal. So let's just spam pinch. And then Sandstorm should kill him. I was still ahead by several turns, but that didn't go as well as I was hoping it as well as I was hoping it would. So what have we fought him with so far? Well, we tried to snipe him with this team. I played Darkness. Oh yeah, it's encounter teams. Yep. I played this team into him earlier, but I feel like I didn't play it correctly. I started with the Primal Stormling, kind of for science. And I feel like the better opener is to start with the MPD, especially with how badly he plays. He never goes for the Blossoming Ancient to break my decoy. If he did, I would probably be better off just spamming Breath, but the fact that I can get a free turn with decoy gives me pretty decent start, unless I miss a whole lot or get stunned. But even if I get stunned, what I like about the MPD is, yeah, he doesn't have the critter racial, but he takes weak damage from the Soul Rush, and he has a mechanical racial to fall back on. So he actually just does a lot better versus. Plus, he does strong damage to Murgleton. So yeah, I think this team is slightly better. Maybe what I should do is give up the Primal Stormling for like the Living Sandling. I feel like, Well, Primal Stormling is a little better versus Twilight. Hmm. Not sure. Maybe the Primal Stormling is the better option here, specifically versus this guy. Are there any other... Oh yeah, I was thinking of a clone dance team. I don't think I want to intentionally queue into him with a clone dance team, but if I were to pick one that I think has a decent chance to beat him, I was looking at Jade Miss Dancer teams. Actually, yeah, Nathan's clone dance might do pretty good. Hermit Crab's going to be pretty good versus the Twilight. I only have one weather changer though. Okay. I don't know. He has a magic pet and I have so much aquatic damage. Maybe I just need a... So he's not ever changing. He's always playing Murgleton. Even though I'm playing the MPD, maybe I need to pick a pet that's an even better matchup versus Murgleton. Because even though I have a double counter, I take weak damage from Soul Rush and I deal strong damage to him. I am slower. Maybe I need to find something that's faster than him. And I might not be able to find something that's faster than him and does strong damage, but just being faster is a big advantage. So I'm thinking maybe something like... Maybe the Rose Typin or the Death Adder. Rose Typin. Do I have any Rose Typin teams that I feel like could give him trouble? Don't have that many teams. Well, I do have a... Okay, now I do have a clone dance team. So I could start with my Shadow Barb Hatchling. Get a free hit off with Paralyzing Venom. Void Cyclone, and then bring in the Jade Mist Dancer. He's going to hit me with strong damage on my flyer with Soul Rush, and then he's going to hit my Jade Mist Dancer for like 70% of his HP with Darkness. He's faster than me. I deal like damage to him. Pretty sure this team loses, sadly. Okay, how about this clone dance team? It's not much better. Maybe what I could do is start with a Rose Typin. Blinding Poison, a Soul Rush, and dot him up. Rose Typin's decent versus Twilight because I take weak damage from his attacks and I'm faster. I can maybe blind like a big hit. He's not dumb enough to attack me while he's blinded or while I have decoy up. He's not dumb enough to like use to call darkness into my decoy, but he is too dumb to swap into his Blossoming Ancient to break decoy. So he's dumb, but he's not just flat out retarded. There's a thin line. He's walking it like a tightrope. Okay, so I could start with the Rose Typin, and then I could dot him up. That's actually a really good matchup. I just realized because yeah, I'll blind him. Dot him up, and then puncture wound, which will almost kill him. And then I take weak damage from Call Darkness, assuming I blinded his whatever it's called. I think this team could maybe kill him, or it could maybe beat him. Do I try it? Let's queue this team. This was my my favorite team to counter. There was a bracket terrorist that used to ruin all of Kovok's fun. Kovok the YouTuber, not Kovok the pet. And he would play Legionnaire Murky with a Fiendish Imp and I think Twilight Whelpling was his favorite pet of choice. It was a really strong combo because he could like Legionnaire Murky has. I don't think I can see him, but he has an ability that gives your team a 25% damage buff. So it's like Amplify Magic, but better because it's 3 rounds and it does damage. And it does like I think more damage than a basic attack. It's called like For the Alliance or For the Horde or something. I think Legionnaire Murky's is Alliance. And so not only does it buff your immolation damage by 25%, which is, you know, not huge, but it does kind of catch you by surprise. A lot of the time you think, oh, yeah, I can bring my low health pet and survive the immolation because it's low damage and it does like extra, 25% each round. That can catch you off guard. But mostly he would be using it to take advantage of Twilight Meteorite, which was like super OP at the time before it got nerfed. So this is my favorite team to queue into him because he also had Shield Storm, and Cyclone is like the best counter, or one of the best counters, anyways, to Shield Storm. It's like Cyclone is to Shield Storm what Immolation is to Decoy. It's just completely passive. You can have a team that's like a good standalone team, and you just play your team like normally how you would be. But as long as Cyclone is out, it just passively eviscerates Shield Storm without even having Rain Dance. It just has a 100% chance to take out each shield. And I think Shield Storm has been brought a little bit more in line now, which might be why he doesn't play that team anymore. Plus, Twilight Meteorite got nerfed. So it used to be infinite duration. You could actually just like have a shield on your pet and then bring him in 25 turns later, and he would still have the shield up. And the tooltip says, do I have any Shield Storm? Oh, there he is right there. So it was for the Horde. Although I think he played Knight Captain Murky. But they both would run exactly the same thing. They would have Whirlwind and For the Horde. Yeah, I think he played Knight Captain Murky. I guess it depended on whether it was a Horde and Alliance character. But yeah, he would use For the Alliance, which would buff your well, not your team, but your front line, which is basically your team, right? It would buff your frontline pet for 25% extra damage. And then Shield Storm now is coded to, at least the tooltip says it only lasts for 8 rounds, which is still really powerful. But, I mean, the fact that it would just be an infinite duration shield, you didn't have to worry about it. It could just be up for the entire game. And then once you finally die on Knight Captain Murky, you just bring in somebody else and they have Shield Storm from, like, the beginning of the game. It's still pretty hard to beat if you don't have, like, a good counter like Cyclone. But yeah, this was really good because the way it would usually start is he would start with his Fiendish Imp, and I could dot him. If he swaps me, that lets me start doing my combo because it'll bring in the Blight Hawk. I can Cyclone, Ghostly Bite if he's dumb enough to stand on his Imp, which he's not going to be. But since he has 2 humanoids, the Blight Hawk was really good because I could Ghostly Bite for the killing blow a lot of the time. And then if he doesn't swap me, well, man, I'm just kind of going to town with my Rose type, and I can blind him if I want, puncture wound, do big damage. I'm faster. And then if he swaps out the Imp, I can freely bring in my Blight Hawk, just go for Cyclone, and then do my combo. His best bet is probably throw up Immolation, and then swap his Imp, and then try to predict when I bring the Blight Hawk, and then swap his Imp back in. But at that point, he's already lost 2 turns to swapping, so I'm not happy that he's on his Imp and he can like mess with my Cyclone Rain Dance combo. But he has lost a lot of momentum by swapping at that point, and I probably am ahead because I have my dot ticking that whole time. I suspect it's the same guy. Oh, we got this guy. Well. I'll play. I think he could actually win because I think this guy might actually have Magma Wave. I think it's Sulfuric Smash. We'll find out. We will find out shortly. Let's bring in the Rose type in because he is my star player. And flip a dot. I mean a blind. And then probably a dot. I'm liking the idea of dotting this guy. He might bring in little Ragnaros. Regardless, I want a dot on somebody. This guy has a lot of attack power on his team. But if he doesn't have Magma Wave, I should be able to get a lot of work done with Clone Dance. Ooh, the trap could also mess me up. Maybe I go for Puncture Wound. I like the idea of burning down Little Ragnaros as fast as possible because he might be able to counter my my Cyclone. We'll find out soon. I feel like he might go underneath. Okay. We still don't know. If he has Magma Wave, but I think a low roll Steam Vent will be able to kill him because I have my dot rolling on him. Seems risky to go for the Cyclone, but I don't really have anything much better to do while he's underground. I can't think of anything. Maybe I could have went for a Rain Dance. I'm actually kind of considering just going for the Ghostly Bite. I think I'll do that. Because I don't want to risk him sweeping my Cyclone away with Magma Wave. It's weak damage versus the dragon anyway, so it's not the end of the world if he gets rid of my Cyclone, but I would like to take some health from that Servant of Demidos. Let's bring in the Jade Mist Dancer. He's weak versus magics. Ow. That was a lot of damage. Is he going to kill me with a tail sweep? He does go second, and he has a Dragon Racial. I think I survive. Just barely, though. Wow. That guy did 848 plus 706. That guy did almost 1,600 damage in 2 moves. Ow. Let's go for Acid Rain. I want my Cyclone to have a higher hit chance. Okay. He has a Dragon Racial. I think he'll go for Elementium Bolt. Regardless, I'm just going to blind him. I don't want him to hit me with something right now. Yeah, that would have hurt real bad. It would have ruined my day. Okay, don't have my Beast Racial yet. Do I send the Puncture Wound to get it on cooldown? Nah. It's a pretty short cooldown still. Wait, Puncture Wound's still a 3-round cooldown? I always thought it was 4. Okay, well, we probably have to eat that Elementium Bolt with my Blighthawk. I don't know. Maybe I just eat it with this guy. My Blighthawk should probably be able to 1v1 him. Right? I think the move here is sacrifice the Typin. Oh, he does a big heal, though. Well, as long as he doesn't stun me, I should be in the clear. Maybe I should have eaten that Elementium Bolt with Blighthawk, but then I lose the last turn. It's hard to say. Oh, he's not going for the stun yet. He's keeping this game exciting. Okay. That was close. I mean, this game was bound to be fairly RNG with the kind of team he's playing. He has Darkness, he has a Trap, and he has Soul Rush. So there's a bit that I can do to deal with the RNG, but at the end of the day, I can't avoid all of the RNG. Okay, well, that was pretty close. He has a lot of attack power on his team. I still feel like I'm gonna get this same guy because he's just been all IQ into all night, so maybe I just pick a team that has a high win rate. There was one that I was thinking of. Okay, so there is the... I have a team with a Nightshade Sproutling that I don't think has lost yet. It is this team, 16-0. How would this team do versus Sir Shady Murgleton? Huh. So I would probably want to start with Mr. Delver and just 1v1 him. And then it's a 2v2 Snapdragon Nightshade Sproutling versus Twilight Blossoming Ancient. I don't know. I think if he plays better, he can win. But I mean, clearly this team has been doing really well. It hasn't lost a game in 16 in a row. So if I get him, it might just boil down to does he land the stun at the beginning or not. If I get him and he beats me with this team, I'll just play my best counter team into him, the MPD one with Primal Stormling and the Pale Shell Crab, and call it a night. Don't think I'm going to be getting any other fun teams for now. And then maybe I will just Theorycraft. Maybe I'll just spend the night Theorycrafting counter teams for him. Because I kind of like the idea of using the Akir Tunneler so that I can avoid getting stunned, but maybe I just need a different team. Alright, well, let me see. I think I'll call this LG if I win, which I feel likely will be the case, because he has two beasts and I have Mr. Delver, and they're both, well, the ankle render is faster than me. Yeah, I feel like my team has a pretty good matchup here. Oh, he started with a Kunchong Hatchling. That's smart, because if I swap him, that brings an Anomalous, which is what he wants. So I'm thinking I won't do that. Maybe I should have started with the... Oh, you bastard. He has shell armor. Okay, maybe I bring in the Nightshade Sproutling. He's actually kind of terrible versus this team because... Like, yeah, he's great versus Anomalous. He's fantastically awesome versus Anomalous. But he has two beasts, and I have Call Darkness. And he's also faster than me with his ankle render. And the Nightshade Sproutling is pretty bad when... do I use Call Darkness on cooldown? I think so. Because he doesn't have... I'm pretty sure this guy runs Void Nova. So he can't change my weather. Or more specifically, I don't have to worry about changing his weather. Okay. Or maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe he does have Toxic Fumes. But even if he has Toxic Fumes, he's better off going for Poison Protocol here, because the Nightshade Sproutling's just going to... Oh, he does. Well, 10%. Unlucky. But also, that was a really bad swap. He should not have brought an Anomalous versus my Nightshade Sproutling. This is my best matchup, is Nightshade versus Anomalous. I don't have any AoE to kill that Anomalous, but all of my pets are faster than him. So yeah, that was, first of all, a really bad swap to bring an Anomalous right there. Unless he was predicting I would swap. That could have been a mind game I'm missing. Let's go for Blinding Poison. I know I'm slower, but it gives me a free swap, which is all I care about. Oh, actually, yeah, Primal Cry. Now that Anomalous can get some work done. Oh. Yeah, that's funny. I'm still faster than this guy. So he probably goes for the... Let's go for a missile. I was going to say he probably goes for the shell armor, but I have missile, so I can still hit him pretty hard. Well, I'm thinking about going for a build turret since I won't do much damage here. Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea. I know it doesn't do any damage here, but I want to have that build turret out so that I can hammer, bring an Anomalous, and he'll die to it. Actually, does he die to it? He does. He barely doesn't die to it unless I crit. But now I'm faster. I don't think the ankle render is about to 1v3 here, but I guess we'll see. He will have a Primal Cry out. That'll give me some trouble. Let's go for a missile. He might have Devour. I don't think he can kill me. Yeah, I think we got this. It's actually a little bit close. He caught me by surprise running shell armor, but he kind of threw his ability to win this by swapping into Anomalous when he did, and then swapping out. He also, I forgot that he had Primal Cry, so that gave him a chance to maybe get something done, but it didn't work out for him, so another win for the good guys. This team just can't be beat. It's so good. I love it a lot. So the Nightshade Sproutling is one of my favorite pets versus a lot of the pets that give me trouble. He's great versus Anomalous. He's great versus Idols because I can change the weather on him. Not, I wouldn't say he's great, but he of course has a weather changer, which is nice. He's great versus MPDs, Twilight Clutch Sisters. I'm trying to think of other pets that I run into a lot that give me trouble if I don't have him on my team. Well, he's great versus Twilight. That's another one. Yeah, he's a really strong pet. And then having 2 weather changers is really good in the current meta. 3 is ideal, but yeah, having 2 is really strong. And then the speed on this team is what really makes it so powerful. It's why I win a lot, or I've won every single game actually, is because I just outspeed my opponent. So if I'm running into like Twilight, all 3 of these pets would do really good. Because they're all faster than him. These 2 do strong damage to him. This guy can't miss under darkness. Twilight is just kind of a bully pet that stomps on pets that are slower than him. So if your entire team is faster than him, then you will have a much easier time beating him. It doesn't even matter if you have strong damage or if you take weak damage. You really just need to be faster. I don't have any beasts on my team, and I feel pretty confident if this team queued into this Blossoming Ancient Dodger, Sir Shady Murgleton Spammer, I feel like it would win, but I can't test it right now because it seems that he is dodging for the time being, so maybe I can play some fun teams. If I'm queuing to this, I can't necessarily play like super fun teams, but I can maybe stop trying to play like double sandstorm, triple sandstorm, and maybe I can try some variety. Maybe this guy has quit for the night. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm gonna end this video here because it's already gotten super long since the queues were so long. But if the games are good, I'll keep queuing, see if I can make another video, and then I'll see y'all in the next one. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Peace out.